What is up, everyone? I'm Skratch. Welcome to another Dragonheir Silent Gods video. Hope you guys are having an amazing day. In today's video, guys, we're going to test one of the new schools of damage. We're going to test Corrosion. We're going to see if anything really changed, even though it seems more or less the same, except Sacridia, which seems like she got pretty damn good now. But yeah, we're going to basically have a look at the new school of damage. It does seem to be the most powerful one for Season 3 in terms of vortex damage, etc. Of course, because I am on the test server, I do not have pretty much any of the content unlocked, right? And we're not going to do dungeons and all that. It's more kind of like of a showcase of the mechanics rather than what they can actually do. We have a brand new temporal vortex, which I did not even have a look at yet. So that's kind of like the whole plan. Before we get into it, I do want to let you guys know, if you want to put your hand on free rewards, click on the link in the description down below or the pinned comment. Use code Skratch, get free Helialite dice, gems, and tons of other goodies in the process. Plus, it helps to support the channel, which I really, really appreciate. But let's quickly have a look at some of the Corrosion champions. Let me just quickly, actually not manage, but let me just bring in all the schools and put Corosion. These are all of the new Corrosion champions coming to the game. Now, in the past, because Sacridia was not very good, we were not using her in the team. We used to run Dargo in the team, which used to be massive. Now, personally, I think that I'm going to drop Dargo and use Sacridia and Whisk together. Sacridia seems like she got a very nice buff, which boosts the damage with a passive, and with her ultimate, enabling Rook to do a lot of additional damage. I want to talk about how you're building these characters. You do not need Enlightenment, you do not need accuracy for the Corrosion. Basically, what the Corrosion does, guys, when ally Corrosion heroes deal poison damage, their Corrosion intensity is increased. You're gonna fill up a bar on the HP bar of the enemy, and that will be a green bar, which is the Corrosion. That cannot be higher than 50% of the enemy's HP, and once you fill that up, you're gonna start doing crazier damage. Now, this is not an early game progression team, because you do require to have some pretty damn strong builds on your characters in order to be able to destroy the content, and they will perform extremely well once you're gonna get access to better gear. Okay, it's all about getting that at least legendary gear. There might be cases where we're gonna run legendary gear instead of the mythical one, right? But Rook, for example, each time true damage is dealt by consuming Corrosion. So once you fill that bar, you're gonna start consuming Corrosion, but at the same time you can restore it, right? We're gonna talk about the skills in a second. So each time he's consuming Corrosion, the damage is increased by 15%. The battle skill summons a giant mouse to strike enemies within range, dealing damage. And you see, he has Corrosion intensity 10%, which means that some of the damage that he deals will be converted into Corrosion at a 10% rate. Then you have the ultimate, an AoE, which gains a stack of everlasting rot up to 10 stacks upon casting this skill, then casts 3 spells, with each spell dealing attack poison damage to enemies within range, and each spell launches 2 follow-up attacks with a 1% corrosion consumed from the target, dealing 66% consumed corrosion through damage each hit. At the end of the skill, performs additional follow-up attacks, each consuming 1% of the target's corrosion to deal damage. So that's basically his skill set, and he does have corrosion intensity 10% on that. If we're gonna go over to Whisk, this is still a champion that I don't think I have on my main account, unfortunately, but I'm definitely gonna get him. He has the passive, when under invisibility, damage dealt is increased by 30% and corrosion intensity is increased by 10. This skill has corrosion intensity 15% instead of 10. This skill has 15%, which means that he's going to be able to stack up a lot of corrosion. And that's going to be very important. Now, you do want to build pretty much all of these characters for damage, right? Because that's the whole idea. The more damage you squeeze, similar with any other school of damage. But very important to do not confuse them and think that, well, I'm going to put poison and they're gonna get the job done. I'm gonna combine poison with corrosion because that's not how this actually works. So just to be able to showcase it to you better, I'm actually gonna put it on 2 minutes, right? So we can stack a lot of corrosion. Now, the more damage we deal, the more corrosion we are going to apply. Something to keep in mind, okay? So we have Sacridia. I'm just going to quickly skill the team. Put a timing here. Sorry, not skill it up. So they do go on 20-second cycles. So we're going to put 18, 18, 18 to let them go faster. Whisk attacks an enemy 7 times. I mean, attacks all the enemies, AoE, 7 times with his AoE attack. Crazy good, right? So he's one of the best defense down appliers in the game with so many hits. We're going to put him, of course, with the Witch's Remains. I'm going to show you the builds in a second, though. So let's do the timing. We can put Sacridia to go straight after, so she applies the vulnerability. And then we can put him on at 12.5, okay? And the rest do not matter. Now, let's quickly talk a bit about the builds. On Whisk, I have an Emissary set because he will inflict Witch's Remains, right? Which will increase our damage. Corrosion should not be counting as a debuff because it's not a debuff itself, right? Talents, I do not have high talents on them because I do not have materials to get them to max. But that's what we have on just the basic 3 talents. So that's the build on him. Then Sacridia, she's built on this set. For each type of buff the wearer has, increases the attack of all allies by 3%, stacking up to 5 stacks. And these are her stats. A bit of damage, no accuracy because she... actually, she does need the accuracy for the ultimate skill. I almost missed that part out, you see? So I'm going to bring in an accuracy piece. So let's get that up and running. And I have 147 accuracy. The gear on the test server is awful, so I have a lot of odd pieces left and right to try and just get better stats. But there we go. This is enough accuracy for what we're doing anyway. And then we have Rook. Now, Rook is built fully for damage. Similar how you would build, for example, any of your rally damage dealers, any of your, let me just think, necrosis damage dealers, any of your wild except Flora, because they do not deal derivative damage. So Caspar, for example, or how you would build your Frost characters, your Ice Blast characters. Full crit rate, as much crit damage and attack as possible. That's about it. Let's see if we can put an attack aura. That will be beneficial. Now, I do not have a pet available to bring in here. We're going to do another video on the pets at a later date. We still have around 6 days till the new season starts for my server. But in the meantime, let's quickly have a look at what is happening. So I'm going to put it on 2x speed. That sounds kind of like fair play. And you see, slowly a yellowish green bar applies on all of their... on all of the enemies on their HP, right? And I'm not really sure what happened right there. Why did Sacridia move after? It's because we did not load the team up. Okay, I was gonna say, what the heck? What the heck? Let me put Sacridia there because she seems to look a bit cooler. So as I was saying, you're going to see on their HP bar on the enemies, you see as it's red, it becomes yellowish, greenish. So that's basically inflicting corrosion on the enemies. So it's not going to be a debuff, right? But we're going to be able to stack this up pretty quick. Once you have the corrosion filled on them, that's when you're going to go really ham on the enemies. Because that's when the true damage will start being inflicted more. And you're gonna be able to basically get a lot of damage out of Rook. Seems like it does go higher than the 50%. I thought that I just read something that was saying it. And you see, when you deal a lot of big damage, like it just happened before, you're consuming a big chunk of the corrosion. Look at that damage. Look at that damage. Damn, Sacridia's animations are actually pretty cool with the spiders running towards the enemy. I like that. I like that. I can't remember how good was her old skin. I know I liked it, but I have a feeling that this is better though. This animation is super cool with the spider web. Really, really good. Really well done, developers. And she deals pretty good damage considering that she's not on a full damage build like Rook, for example. So if we're looking at it, Rook is just doubling her damage at the moment, right? Of course, that can improve and stuff, but damn. I'm wondering if it's much better to build Sakridia as well on full mythical gear, on full damage sets, regardless if it's legendary gear or mythical gear, right? I wonder what option is better for that. Because it's almost similar with Sheena and Beldele in Season 2. I don't have Sheena in any of these sets. I have her fully built for damage. And I have a feeling that I'll be doing exactly the same thing for Sakridia, because her damage is really impressive. I mean, look at what's his name? I forgot the other poison that I don't have the character, right? His damage is really weak. So his damage is really weak comparing it with Sakridia and Rook. 60%, almost 30%, and 9.9%, right? What's your name, bro? Whisk. I was keep thinking of Twitch. I know it's not Twitch. That's why I was not saying the name. But yeah, that's actually pretty nice. You see how the mechanic works. So it's nothing to do with derivative damage, with accuracy requirements, unless you're landing specific debuffs, right? But I think it's pretty cool. Let's do a run in this boss too. I'm not even going to look at what the skills are because I want to do a different video on it. And I don't want to stay in here for half an hour on this video. But let's put in the team, right? I'm going to let the Poison and Felocia just run wild. The boss is on an 18-second rotation, not 20 anymore. Okay. That is interesting because I will need skill haste on my Felocia to be able to keep up with the boss. And that is not... Oh, wait. They're not even skilled. I think her and Ogok are not skilled. I forgot about that part. I've done the other ones, but I haven't done the supports. So this is the elemental combination for Season 3. We have Poison and Ice. Really good. We're going to have a free Ice character, which is a good support that could potentially be used instead of a Felocia if you don't have her. But for the moment, let's go in with what we have. And what cooldown we have? 19.1. Hell no. That's the new boss. Actually going to put it on 4x. And let's see how the corrosion gets applied on this boss. The boss will change forms. It has 3 different forms from what I understood. I do not see the corrosion is being applied right here. Okay. So it's not going to appear a green bar on the boss. It's actually with the numbers right here at the top right corner next to the S. You see, this is the S and this is the corrosion damage by the looks of it. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, I think Sakridia does good damage. And it seems like Rook performs even better versus a single target. I mean, they will all perform better because you're not spreading your battle skills attacking different targets, which enables you to apply more corrosion. So overall, you're going to generate bigger damage. But Sakridia seems to double the damage that Whisk does. So yes, I will definitely use her in a different type of a build, right? Now, because I am on the test server, I will have to gradually unlock each one of the difficulties. This is difficulty 1. It kind of sucks because I am really overpowering it with the gear that I have on and stuff, right? But damn, look at Rook just ramping up that damage. He started with double, now he's at well past triple compared to Sakridia. Which is pretty damn good, huh? I do think that that's the corrosion multiplier right there. And this one right here, I guess, is for the boss's form. How likely is for it to change, or... I'm not sure if it's changing during every single fight, or is not, or is on higher difficulties only. Heck, I'm not even sure if this boss lands debuffs. Very curious about that part too. Because I'm really not sure. Oh, look at Rook. He's quadrupling the damage now. So the longer you go into the fight to apply more corrosion on bosses like these, the higher the damage too. So we had a massive jump from like what? We started with like 60k, 50k plus, and we are almost at 150k per second. Pretty damn good. So thankfully, I do have him available on my account. I will be getting his exclusive artifact. One thing to keep in mind as well, I will be doing detailed videos about all of the new exclusives. I will rate them. We're going to talk about them. So you're going to know exactly what to go for. Avoid mistakes, etc. Know how to plan for the banners. All of that stuff. I got you. You know that I got you. And I will be doing that for the next few days. Now, I will be away this weekend, but I will prepare a lot of videos during the time when I'm away. And I will get back literally on the day when the new season starts on my server. And that is going to be on the Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken, right? So we're going to be able to check everything even better than too. Damn, look at him stacking up that damage. The longer the fight goes, the more damage we deal. I don't really recall it as being as crazy. Like, look at that. We are at 200k per second now. So much, much better. I reckon we're going to finish like somewhere at 220 by the time we are out of here. But look at the corrosion we applied. It's a lot of it. And inflicting a lot of true damage is really, really good too. One thing that I'm happy about is that we have Whisk. I'm not going to have to think about, oh, who's going to apply my defense down? Damn, there's nobody to apply the defense down. Good. That sucks. Well, don't worry. 7 freaking hits will pretty much guarantee you 1 million defense downs landing on the enemies. So you won't have to worry about that part. Which is the good thing. Damn, we surpassed the damage. We are at 240k now. That is pretty damn good. So he's ramping up a lot of damage. Of course, this might not be the best optimal team for him either, guys. Not the most optimal gear sets. But was just kind of like, I wanted to showcase you how does the corrosion actually work, the mechanics and all that. And a lot of you guys might be wondering, is he going to be better than Beldele or Flora? Yes, he was always better than them, even in the last version. I don't think they've made like very big changes to address that in terms of like stop the characters from doing stupid damage or anything like that, nerfs and all that. But that's everything for this one. That's Corrosion for you. New School of Damage in Season 3. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And don't forget, use code Skratch to claim free rewards. I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.